That's one way of doing it. The short leg and a slip. And they're the two attacking catches. There are two men close in on either side of the... I'll let you do this over. You do the next over from Lackmell.
I'll do the next over.
Okay, yeah. Excellent. Get to the swing of this. 96 without loss. Disappointment at lunchtime, I'll tell you about in a minute, as Thompson pushes that one into the leg side. We were assured it was going to be gammon. I was all over, I was ready for gammon, and it turned out to be lamb. The lamb was delicious.
Yeah, I really quite like the lamb.
Yeah. I was just looking forward to gammon. We'll get burgers tomorrow if we're still here. That's the traditional last day meal as he goes back into his stumps there, Raw, and pushes it back towards the bowler Thompson. Thompson, 5 overs for 15 going into this over. Economical, and he has got the ball to turn. Wayne Madsen's waiting at slip. Leas deploy at short leg, and he comes forward and pushes that one up to Billy Godleman at mid-off. I will never complain about any kind of food, though. So
yeah, I thought it was really quite nice.
As you can probably tell, I don't mind a feed. Thompson in again. That one is driven but not timed. Out to Billy Godleman. He won't have a shot at the stumps because he doesn't pick it up cleanly. It actually seemed to get to his hand and then spin out of it.
Yeah, it just popped out, didn't
it? He didn't get an opportunity to have a shot at the stumps, so they go through for a single.
It's a bit of a risky run taken.
He didn't hit it very well, did he?
No, not at all.
That's a completely mistimed shot.
He went, was he looking to go over the top maybe?
I think so. I don't think Thompson will mind that too much. He's in again, and this time it's driven into the ground and out towards Anuj Dal, who's in extra cover. It's the end of the over, one from it. Haynes has 70, Orr has 22, and Sussex 97 without loss, trailing by 234 still, but they will be buoyed by the fact that they've got through the first 32 overs of the day without losing a wicket. Their run rate is 3 and over. So they'll get another 190, 200, so they may just about be at parity by the end of the day. Which is something that Derbyshire shouldn't lose sight of, really. The fact that there is a long way for Sussex to go still.
234 runs still. Certainly a long way to go.
He's taking a fresh guard. Is Ali Orr? Over the wicket again.
Lackmell into Alex Orr. And just driven, bowled pretty straight and just driven into the mid-wicket region where Alex Thompson is and collects it quite nicely. Seems like it's got even warmer over the lunch break.
It's warm in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's warm in here, I know. It must be warm out there.
It's really quite
very nice.
Lots of short sleeves on the show.
Well, you've got to get the guns out, you know. Yeah. Oh, you're not talking about me. Yeah, absolutely. It's very warm in here. I've got one window on. I might open the other window in a minute. Live a little.
Lackmell runs in. Right arm over the wicket. In. Relatively short delivery, just blocked again to Alex Thompson in the mid-wicket region. Looks like he's just straightened his line a little bit, I think, after being... Well, he was punished through the offside, wasn't he, in the last over, so... I think it's probably right for him to straighten up a little bit. Alex Thompson very busy in there in the mid-wicket region.
Fascinated to know what they've been talking about over lunch, the Derbyshire fielders and the management team, coaching staff. That have been plenty of discussions.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, isn't it? I just can't help but feel they could be a bit more aggressive. Only one slip in as Lackmell runs in again to Ali Orr. Again, very straight, and again, almost a repeat of the last delivery, blocked to Alex Thompson, who cleans it up nicely, throws it into Brooke Guest to keep in position. Yeah, I mean, would you be tempted to have maybe another slip in or another catcher in?
I would attack. Yeah. And they've got 234 runs to play with. I mean, they had 331 at one stage. It's now down to 234. I'd have been much more attacking. I've got to say.
Yeah, I think they've certainly got runs to play with. Adior stands to face. Black Mousey runs him. Again, a straight delivery, maybe too straight, as Alior just plays that pretty comfortably to deep square leg, and they just run, get an easy single. Tom Haynes back on strike.
Yeah, far too straight, really. He hasn't got his line right at all, has he? Saranga Lakmal hasn't got a wicket in the match yet. He's in his 10th over of this second innings.
I do prefer this approach, though, attacking the stumps and making them work a bit harder for their runs. I mean, certainly could be bowling better, but better than just hanging it outside off, I think. Tom Haynes' face. Again straight, and again hit straight to Alex Thompson, who's very busy in that mid-wicket region. Just seems a little bit on the full side. Not sure if Blackmail's getting any movement at the moment. The ball might have lost a bit of its newness, and yeah.
It's 33 overs old, the ball, so if it's, you'd expect it. He's sort of suggesting that he's trying to get it to swing, but he hasn't quite managed to do so yet, which is a little disappointing.
Can be all the more deceptive, though, when you do get the odd one that does swing. Blackmire runs it again. Tom Haynes to face. Just slightly outside off. Ooh.
Oh, there's going to be overthrows.
Yeah, direct hit attempt. Just went straight to extra cover, who quite unnecessarily shied at the stumps. I don't think Alior was even at his crease. And
no.
They've managed to run 3, and Derbyshire can not be happy with that.
There was a shot at the stumps from Lears to deploy. Sam Collins has gone all the way to within about 10 yards of the boundary away to the left-hand side to make sure that it didn't cross the boundary. And those 3 runs mean the 100 is up for Sussex, 101 without loss. But you're right, he wasn't out of his crease, so the throw at the stumps was fairly pointless. Perhaps somebody should have been backing up, I don't know, but...
It just seemed like it came from nowhere, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we are saying that we want them to be a bit more aggressive, so...
Yes, we can't have it both ways, I suppose. Be more aggressive, but don't be that aggressive. Anyway.
Not the worst of plans, but maybe the fielders should be aware of it as well.
They need a left arm option. Unfortunately, the left arm option is injured at the moment. There's Thompson beginning a new over. That's driven out into the offside by Haynes. There's no run. Lewis Rees bowls left arm seam, but he can't bowl at the moment, having had operations on both his knee and his shoulder over the course of the closed season in the winter. Thompson bowls, full delivery, pushed into the offside by Haynes once again.
Yeah, Sussex are also missing their left armer in George Garton, aren't they? One of my favourite players in the circuit, actually, George Garton.
Good George, yeah.
He's very good.
Really good player. He's played quite a bit of franchise cricket abroad now as well, hasn't he? His next delivery is turned into the leg side, almost through Lears deploy. Who's standing at short leg. Sam Connors, who a moment ago was fielding out in front of the players' pavilion, is now on the other side of the field completely. He must have run 150 yards to change position there. We've gone through for a single. Haynes moves to 74, 102 without loss. Thompson bowls to Alior, who defends this one immaculately. Absolutely immaculately back towards Thompson, who's started to develop this habit of drying his hand in the footmarks before just about every ball he bowls. Slipping a short leg, Thompson in, and that one is defended. Back to him. He tosses the ball, there he goes. Dries his right hand in the footmarks, having tossed the ball away to Anuj Dal to do the polishing.
I had not noticed that before.
Oh, you'll not be able to unsee it now.
It's going to drive me mental.
Yeah. It's like the little hop in Sam Connors' run-up. This one is left alone outside the off stump by Orr. End of the over. Bowled by Alex Thompson. 7 overs, 2 maidens, not for 17. His figures now 102 without loss. Sussex Orr has 23. Haynes has 74. They trail by 229, and it's been a day that Sussex fans will have given Sussex fans some cheer. They were fairly disgruntled yesterday, and understandably so, but this has been a much more battling performance today.
Is there much of a Sussex support here? Is there any fans?
Well, I was thinking of the people who were emailing us, rather. I bet there's 1 or 2. There'll be 1 or 2 in.
Yeah. It's a long travel to watch your team get bowled out for 170 odd, isn't it?
It is a long way. It's a good trip, though. Hove. Good trip. For the commentators, that is. I don't know about the players, but I enjoy it.
All right, Lackmel to continue. Tom Haynes to face, he runs in. Again, very straight. Again, too straight as Tom Haynes just flicks that very comfortably down to deep fine leg. And they'll take the single. Just not too sure on his lines here.
No, he hasn't got it right. Sarangal Lackmel is going to go. He's going to go round the wicket again now. He's just indicated to umpire Peter Hartley he's going to go round. He can't settle. He hasn't settled at all in this. Well, in this match, really, bowled economically in the first innings, and he's only conceded 28 runs from 10 overs and 1 ball. But he just doesn't look like he's settled to me. He's a little agitated.
Yeah, I agree. And I suppose different conditions, it might take a bit of time for him to get into his own. But yeah, it just seems as if he just can't quite decide what his plan is and what he's going to do here. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes now, going round the wicket. He's got just a deep fine, deep third and no square leg. So, no square leg. So it seems like he's going to go relatively full.
Potts is inching his way to square leg, but he hasn't quite made it, has he?
No. Lackmel comes round the wicket. That's a better line and length, just on off stump as Alior defends it straight to mid-on. I think that's a better area to bowl, just better angle as well, just angling into the left-hander from round the wicket, just better length as well. Just on that good length. Quite a lot of encouragement from the Derbyshire boys, encouraging their bowler. I think this is really a time where they'd quite like a breakthrough, I think.
I'd quite like one, certainly.
Again, Lackmel runs into Alior. It's better again, just on the off stump. And he drives back quite nicely, but Lackmel just manages to get a hand on it, and it's another dot ball. There's been a bit of a pickup from the Derbyshire players. I certainly sense that they're trying to get behind the bowler here. Probably sense a bit of frustration and want to help their teammate through.
But again, just the one slip. Excuse me. They've got a couple of catches, cover and extra cover. Alex Thompson will be just outside, possibly just inside the eye line of the batsman at extra cover.
Lackmel comes in again. Oof. Looked like he played it and changed his mind. He's done that a couple of times, has he not, Alior? Just looks to play it outside off and then decides last minute, I'm not sure if I fancy it, but yeah. Well left in the end, and again another good ball. He just seems to be maybe finding his rhythm from around the wicket here, Lackmel.
Just waiting for that ball just to run down the face of the bat to the wicket-keeper.
Could have been. It
seemed to be too far away, didn't it?
No. Lackmel in again, Alior to face. And that's a similar delivery, kind of short outside off, and this time left alone a bit more convincingly by Alior, who takes a walk to square leg just to slightly compose himself, I think. Just sense something's going to happen here.
Really?
Yeah, I sense something happening.
That's because you play, you see. I just watch and
we'll
hope that something's going to happen. You're sensing it. That's very positive. I like that. I like that.
Lackmel coming in again, number 82 on his shirt. Similar delivery, just a little bit wider to finish the over and left alone by Alior. Sussex now 103 for none. Alior 23 runs off 104 balls and Tom Haynes 75 runs off 106 balls, going very nicely. It's a partnership of 103 from 210 balls. I think Sussex will certainly be happy with that.
No question. They trail by 228. Leicestershire trailed by 184, but they're only in the first innings at Chester Street. Durham 428. Leicestershire 244 for 7 now. Nottinghamshire almost at parity. They trail Glamorgan by 25 runs. They're 52 for 2 second time around. Gloucestershire are 66 for 2 in their second innings, still trailing Yorkshire by 83. As Alex Thompson begins a new over, and that's pushed out into the offside by Haynes. They'll pick up a single. Haynes will move on to 76, 104 without loss. Kent 216 for 7 which means that they trail Lancashire by 290 at Canterbury. That's all the scores from elsewhere. I still want to be part of that big Bahamas tour of the Cayman Islands, though. I think that's the place to be. This next delivery is clipped into the leg side. It's a good stop by Shan Masood with his left hand, and then he slides and loses possession of the ball, but the batsmen decide against taking a run. Yeah, 2 T20 internationals today in Georgetown in the Cayman Islands. I could just about cope with that, I think. Thompson in again, bowls. That one is driven into the ground, and Anuj Dal fields out in the offside. He's one of 2 men in catching positions on the offside. Shan Masood on the leg side of it, so the mirror image position as this next delivery is pushed into the ground and out to Shan Masood.
Alex Thompson going really nicely here. Just seems the bowler that's been most consistent with his line and lengths, and looks like he's still getting a bit of turn.
He's in for a long spell here, Alex Thompson. It's his 8th over. Bowls, that one is guided into the offside this time. There's thoughts of a run, and they throw. Might potentially have thrown it to the wrong end there on Dal, but good feeling prevents the run. He gets the ball very quickly. Couple of deliveries, and 1 delivery in fact left of this over, and then I'm going to nip up. Well, we're not going to move anywhere. I'm just going to move a lead, but that one is aerially into the leg side to the right of Leas Deploy. Stroking his chin with his left hand is Alex Thompson at the end of that one. He knows that that was a decent delivery, and not half a chance really, but a false shot. So that will give him plenty of hope. 104 without loss. Haynes has 76, Orr has 23. Sussex trail by 227 runs. But it's good to see Alex Thompson getting into his groove at the City end.
Yeah, Alex Thompson going nicely. Previously let go by Warwickshire, but has really come to his own in Derbyshire, taking 16 wickets in 18 games in all formats before the start of this season. And yeah, as we said earlier, one of the nicest blokes in cricket, I reckon. It's very
Absolutely.
nice. And it looks
you
like
carry on your...
I will. Looks like Lackmal's coming back round the wicket to Tom Haynes as he runs into bowl. Full delivery, good delivery, which Tom Haynes respects and just hits straight to Billy Godderman out at mid-off. Just seems a bit more of a buzz after lunch with the Derbyshire players. I'm not sure if the coaching staff have had a word and just said there needs to be a little bit more behind them, but yeah, just seems as if they might be working a bit harder for the breakthrough here, with Sussex currently sitting at 104 for none. I think now Sussex will certainly be happy with the way they've gone. As Lackmal's at the end of his mark and runs into Tom Haynes again. Comes in, bowls. Straight delivery again, hit to mid-wicket. Alex Thompson very busy in the mid-wicket region there again. Just a defensive shot, just a slight turn of the wrist, I think, by Tom Haynes, and just looks to keep that one out of the stumps. Lackmal now has 3 fielders out, not just square in third, not just fine in third, sorry, but he's also got a deep square out there, just about 15 yards from the edge of the boundary. So potentially could bang a short one in and look for the catch. Runs in again, Tom Haynes to face. And he just attempts to almost cut that one relatively straight off the stumps and just fielded very nicely down at backward point, and will be a dot. And Tom Haynes looks like he could be struggling with that hand again, just looks like he's taking his glove off and having a look. But no, all seems relatively well, and yeah, struck that one nicely, but straight to the hands of backward point.
Nothing's working, because quite often when I go off to do an update, you're halfway through doing this tight-ish 30-second and a wicket will fall, but even that hasn't worked today.
Lackmal in again, Tom Haynes fake. Another defensive shot. Cleaned up nicely by Sam Connors at mid-on, and seems like Lackmal's just began to find his feet a little bit here. Just starting to hit Bit of a heavy length, good lines. Tom Haynes not looking to do much with it. Derbyshire again got a buzz around the field. Blackmore runs in again for the 5th ball of his over. Oh, short ball. Dug that one in really short, but Tom Haynes just ducks underneath it quite comfortably. Hasn't really looked to play that one. I mean, he's got the field set for the trap of the short ball just to try and make Tom Haynes play, but it seems like he's been pretty aware of it and just ducks under it and allows Brooke Guest to clean it up. Quite like to see Tom Haynes take on the short ball here, but not sure he will. He looks pretty comfortable just letting it go.
That'd be sensible, wouldn't it?
It would. Blackmore comes in again. Fuller ball driven very nicely by Tom Haynes, but goes straight to the captain, Billy Alderman, at mid-off, and that's the end of the over, maiden over.
Yeah, better over, or one of his better overs, Saranga Lackmell. Don't think there's any question about that. They're still playing it. Yeah, they're still playing Tottenham and Brighton. Still goalless at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Rotherham, who were at Burton on Tuesday night, will be there with Radio Derby for that one. 0-0 with Ipswich. 18 minutes to go. FA Cup semi-final day, or weekend, really, isn't it? Men and women's competition. Thompson begins a new over from the City, and it's turned into the leg side nicely by Orr. Bit of a chase there for Shan Masood. And they go through for a single. He moves to 24. Does Ali Orr, 106 without loss. Sort of makes the Sussex collapse yesterday even more inexplicable, really, the way things have gone so far. These two have scored most of Sussex's runs, 62 yesterday and 105 today, as Thompson is in, and that one is pushed out into the offside.
Yeah, they do just look really quite comfortable, don't they? I mean, both of them timing it quite nicely.
Too comfortable.
Yeah. Ali Orr just seems to be sticking around, really, allowing Tom Haynes to take the lead, which I think is quite a good option.
Good foil. Yeah, absolutely. That's a full toss from Thompson, and he misses out a little bit there. Does Tom Haynes fails to really make connection with the ball, goes out into the offside, fielded by Leicester Ploy, who's no longer in at short leg.
Still got the pads on though.
Oh yes, he loves those pads. And there he is again. Takes him a while to get moving, doesn't it, with those pads on? His throwing's been affected as well, because he just chucked that one straight to the feet of Brooke Guest. We said you can't take anything for granted in cricket. We were all looking forward to a day off tomorrow.